Subscribe, hype, like, and donate with a super thanks donation in the comments section below for the unfiltered, unapologetic Sean's View End, your home for WWE news, rumors, and backstage chaos. This is where gossip gets exposed around the clock. Now, here's your host, the brash Sean's View End.
2 days, viewers, 2 days. That's all that stands between now and WrestleMania 42, where we're going to have complete coverage of WrestleMania, the highlights, the video, the reviews, the previews, the rants, the raves. We're going to have complete coverage of WrestleMania, all the news, all the rumors, all the headlines, all the results. Make sure to subscribe, click the bell, and turn on all notifications for that. Now, ladies and gentlemen, tonight we got 4 massive blockbuster stories that weigh heavy on WrestleMania. 4 stories that broke that you need to hear before this weekend. And one of them involves a legend who has not been seen at a WWE event in years, and sources say he is in Las Vegas right now in what is going to be one of the biggest returns in the history of a WrestleMania. One of them involves something that happened inside Allegiant Stadium this week that WWE said absolutely nothing publicly, and the silence is the story. One of them involves the McMahon family and what reportedly could be happening this weekend is just as significant as what is with the McMahon family. And one of them involves a WrestleMania 42 title match competitor, and the news that just dropped about the condition 2 days before the show changes everything about Saturday night. 4 stories, 2 days, and 1 weekend. This is Sean's View Entertainment. Now, before we get into it, everything tonight is rumors, reports, speculation. That is the lane, and that has always been the lane since 2012. As we know here on this channel, on this show, Sean's View Entertainment is your #1 tabloid news and rumor channel. Now we're going to start right here, guys. Breaking news as it concerns a massive return to the Showcase of Immortals, WrestleMania 42, and that involves a certain superstar, a certain former world champion, a man that has won the Royal Rumble not 1, not 2, but 3 different times. He has main evented and headlined WrestleMania, because this one landed this morning and it has not stopped spreading since. According to sources via bodyslam.net, Stone Cold Steve Austin is currently scheduled to be backstage at WrestleMania 42 this weekend in Las Vegas. Now let's understand why that sentence alone is significant before we even get into what that means on camera. Stone Cold Steve Austin has not made regular appearances on WWE in recent years. Scheduling conflicts have kept him away from the product for extended stretches. His presence at WWE events has not been something fans could not count on or predict. And that presence and that absence for a performer of his stature and legacy has been dealt every single time WWE has had a major event without him. And now, according to those that know, according to sources, that trend may be changing this weekend at WrestleMania 42. But here is the question that every single person who reads this report this morning immediately asked. Is Stone Cold going to be backstage, or is he going to be on camera for a segment? Because there are 2 different things. A Hall of Famer visiting backstage at WrestleMania is not unusual. Legends show up, they reconnect with the roster, they attend the Hall of Fame, they watch the show from the back. It is a normal part of the WrestleMania weekend experience for many performers. But Stone Cold Steve Austin is not a normal former performer. Stone Cold Steve Austin is one of the most decorated and over babyfaces, if not the most over babyface in the history of professional wrestling, without a doubt the most popular. And when that glass shatters, it does not matter what city WWE is in, what year it is, or what is happening on that card. 70,000 people in Las Vegas will lose their minds, guaranteed, no exceptions. And sources say the question to whether Stone Cold Steve Austin and WWE have something planned for the Rattlesnake beyond a backstage visit is currently the most discussed topic in wrestling circles heading into this weekend's WrestleMania 42 in Las Vegas. Reports indicate that at this point, it is unclear whether Austin will simply be behind the scenes or if WWE has cameras plans for him. But the fact is that he is in the building, reportedly, is enough to make every single scenario possible. Sources say the WrestleMania 42 card already has moments built in that could accommodate a Stone Cold appearance organically, without disrupting the announced matches, without upending the planned outcomes. An Austin appearance, whether it is a segment, a confrontation, or simply walking out to give the Las Vegas crowd a WrestleMania moment, fits into the show in multiple places. And reportedly, the people who know what is happening are staying very quiet about it right now. And while the Stone Cold question is dominating the conversation, ladies and gentlemen, there is rumor and gossip, and because this can change 101 times between now and then, there is rumor and gossip and speculation that Stone Cold Steve Austin could be in the ring with a man that he has already stunned in the past, but it would be under different circumstances and different purposes this time, and that man being Pat McAfee, who could be on the receiving end of a Stone Cold Stunner at WrestleMania. But ladies and gentlemen, there is another story breaking out in Las Vegas right now that sources say nearly turned WrestleMania 42 weekend into a full-blown crisis before it even started. We're going to get to that right here and right now. Also, we got breaking news on Randy Orton. We got breaking news on Vince McMahon a little bit later on. But ladies and gentlemen, this is the one that stopped people cold when it started circulating online. According to rumors spreading through the wrestling circles, the WrestleMania 42 set experienced a significant pyrotechnic incident during the testing in Las Vegas. According to gossip, sources describe a scenario where the pyro elements being tested as part of the WrestleMania 42 stage setup caught fire in a way that was not planned and not controlled. Now, let's be very clear about what this is and what it is not. This is, again, hearsay. This is rumor. Nobody inside WWE has confirmed this publicly, and WWE has said absolutely nothing about any kind of pyro incident at the Allegiant Stadium during setup this week. The silence from the company on the story is either because nothing happened or because something happened that they do not want discussed 2 days before the biggest show of the year. And sources say the silence itself is telling. Here is what made this rumor particularly significant in the context of WrestleMania 42, because it's all about the stage reveal. It's all about the construction. It's all about the dynamics. It's all about what is the stage going to look like this year. Pyrotechnics are one of the most technically complex and safety-critical elements of any major WWE production. The regulations around pyro testing at a venue the size of Allegiant Stadium are extraordinarily strict. And sources say that during one of those testing sessions this week, rumors say that something went awry, something could have went wrong. Reports circulating online describe the incident as varying levels of severity. Some sources say it was a minor controlled flash that managed quickly by the production crew on site. Others say the incident was significant enough to cause visible fire on a portion of the stage setup and required intervention before it could spread further. The most alarming version of the rumor, circulating from sources who claim to have information from people inside Allegiant Stadium this week, describe a scenario where pyro malfunctions during testing caused a fire that temporarily threatened a portion of the WrestleMania 42 stage. Again, all rumor and gossip. Sources in this version say the fire was contained before serious damage occurred, but that incident required an immediate review of every pyrotechnic element planned for both nights of WrestleMania 42. Now, here is why that matters heading into this weekend. Sources say WWE's production team has been running additional safety checks on every pyro element since the incident, if there was one reportedly discovered. Whether the full pyro plan was themselves have their checks and checked in, and whether WrestleMania 42 delivers a scaled-back version of what was originally planned is reportedly still being determined. Now, the people who know this answer to that question are not talking publicly 2 days before the show. 2 days out, a pyro incident reportedly contained at the last moment a stage that sources say came dangerously close to a serious problem, because obviously the WWE can't, what are they going to have at that point? A Raw set, a simple set, no set, a big WWE logo. Also, we got breaking news on Vince McMahon and WrestleMania. Remember, for more videos like this, click the bell, subscribe, and turn on all notifications and hype up the video. Or donate below with a super thanks donation by using your credit card. Now, pull this thread and the whole thing unravels, guys. Stephanie McMahon, as we all know, is headlining the WWE Hall of Fame ceremony this weekend. She is being inducted in what is going to be one of the most celebrated moments of WrestleMania 42 weekend, a recognition of her contributions to the company over decades. And according to reports, her father, Vince McMahon, will he be there? Will he return? Will Vince McMahon be a part of WrestleMania and the Hall of Fame, or one or the other? Sources say Vince McMahon, according to those in the know, is, however, at this point, at this time, according to the dirt sheets, the websites, and the newsletters, Mr. McMahon's status is just this. Say that Vince McMahon is not expected, but it could be a shock and a swerve to everybody that he does show up this weekend, even with his daughter being inducted as a headliner. The reasons behind that are not being confirmed publicly, but in the context of everything surrounding Vince McMahon and WWE right now, the implications of his reported non-attendance are significant on multiple levels. But then you got the Shane McMahon dynamic. Will we see Shane McMahon? Well, Shane McMahon is reportedly in Las Vegas this weekend for the Hall of Fame to support Stephanie, which means that this weekend could involve Shane McMahon at the Hall of Fame and on the WrestleMania 42 card in some capacity without Vince McMahon present at either. The McMahon family dynamic heading into this weekend is generally one of the most complicated stories in professional wrestling right now, and the Hall of Fame ceremony on Friday night is going to be the first public chapter of how that story plays out. But as significant as both those stories are, neither one is the most urgent story heading into WrestleMania 42 this weekend, because the Randy Orton injury report that just dropped changes the entire conversation around Saturday night's title match. This is the one that stops you cold. Randy Orton, not 100%. Randy Orton hurting just days before his WrestleMania 42 title match with Cody Rhodes, with it all on the line. Now, Randy Orton is reportedly hurting days before WrestleMania 42. in his match with Cody Rhodes. Now, let's be precise about what the reports are actually saying and why the timing of this information matters enormously. Sources say Randy Orton is dealing with a physical issue heading into WrestleMania 42. The exact nature of the injury or the physical concern has not been confirmed publicly, but the fact that this information is surfacing now 2 days before the match through sources connected to the wrestling community tells a very specific story about the situation headed into Saturday night. When an injury report surfaces this close to a WrestleMania match, it does not come from nowhere. These reports tend to emerge from one of those three places: the talent's camp, signaling that something needs to be publicly known before the match happens; the opposition, planting information that creates a narrative advantage heading into the event; or a legitimate concern inside WWE where the reality of a performer's physical status is leaking out through the usual channels despite the company's preference for silence. Any one of those sources makes this story significantly different heading into Saturday night. Now think about what a Randy Orton injury could mean in the specifics of context for his WrestleMania 42 title match. Could there be a replacement? Could there be a different planning? Could there be a different strategy? Could this match turn into something completely different? Sources say the people close to the situation inside WWE are watching Orton's status very carefully between now and Saturday night. Because if Randy Orton walks into WrestleMania 42 at less than 100%, the entire complexity of that title match changes. Not just the outcome, the story, the performance, and the moment. Now, ladies and gentlemen, bringing you up to speed and up to date here. WrestleMania 42 is the most unpredictable major WWE event in recent memory. 4 stories, all breaking within 24 hours of each other, all pointing in the same direction. Those 4 variables are not fully controlled, and in 2 days in Las Vegas in front of 70,000 people, they will play out simultaneously. That, ladies and gentlemen, that is WrestleMania 42, and Sean's View Entertainment will be here for every single moment of it. Now, I got some questions, because remember, without you, there is no Sean View. You guys are the foundation of the show. Do you think the PYRO incident affects what we see or from the stage or the reveal, the WrestleMania 42 stage reveal? Do you think Stone Cold Steve Austin appears on camera at WrestleMania this weekend? Maybe a couple of Steve Weisers, maybe a couple of middle fingers? Now, Vince McMahon either walks into the Hall of Fame or he stays away, and Randy Orton either finds a way to compete through the pain or Saturday night gets complicated in ways that nobody is ready for. Ladies and gentlemen, all content here presented on Sean's View is based on rumors, speculation, gossip, and unverified reports for entertainment purposes only. This is your WWE News and Rumors site, where we give you the hottest, the latest, the greatest, the newest, the most definitive, because here on this show, guys, we truly do believe in the viewers, the fans, and the subscribers, because we are here to satisfy your taste buds as it concerns all things professional wrestling. Also, Becky Lynch calls out the WWE Divas era treatment of women's wrestlers, and MJF, the same MJF who lost the AEW World title last night on AEW TV to Darby Allin. MJF overhauls social media with a Justice for MJF campaign after AEW title loss. And Paul Heyman launches TikTok and declares Brock Lesnar will conquer Obafemi at WrestleMania 42. Roman Reigns reacts to the Street Fighter movie trailer. And Becky Lynch admits that she fought WWE to stop WrestleMania Triple Threat change. And Becky Lynch points out double standards for aging women in wrestling. And Danhausen's status for WrestleMania 42 absolutely being unveiled and exposed online according to those in the know before the show. Danhausen is heading to WrestleMania 42 this week in Las Vegas, and WWE already has plans in place for how he'll be used. According to PW Insider, Danhausen is currently scheduled to appear in a segment at WrestleMania 42 this weekend. After weeks of growing reactions on SmackDown, WWE is now preparing to feature him on the biggest stage. It was noted that there's already discussed behind the scenes about how to structure the segment, and it will involve using mini wrestlers. So it's clear that WWE will be building something character-driven rather than a standard match, potentially playing into the very nice, very evil presentation that has been getting strong reaction from live crowds for the last several weeks. Also, Nick Khan, who we all know has a major to do with the WWE, claims he still doesn't read social media criticism about the WWE. Also, I'm not going to spoil it here, but WWE's current favorites to leave WrestleMania 42 as champions is being exposed and revealed according to the dirt sheets, the websites, and newsletters. You can go check that out online for yourself right now and right here. Also, the front runner to win the 2026 Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal revealed. It looks like it could be Royce Keys. Also, Becky Lynch admits that she thought she'd hate MJF before meeting him. And on top of that, as if that wasn't enough, TNA and WWE had no idea AEW would pit Forbidden Door against Slammiversary. Stephanie McMahon says Rowdy Ronda Rousey pushed for their WrestleMania match, and AEW are planning Grand Slam Mexico return in 2026. Also, viewers, fans, and subscribers, the WWE are interested in signing an AEW star once their current contract ends. Also, viewers, fans, and subscribers, Seth Rollins admits that his shoulder isn't fully healed ahead of his WrestleMania 42 match against Gunther, where they will go one-on-one in what will be a fight between two men that want to rise to the world title contention once again in 2026. Your thoughts, your comments, your opinions, and your emotions. This is where we're at. This is what I do. This is SeanzView. We keep you glued to your screens because that's what it means to me. Plenty more to come. Subscribe for more WWE Around the Clock. I will never stop for each and every one of you.